I have Chris and Lulu with me. Welcome. Tell me about the art fair. How's it going?
Love it. Already found some things that I'm interested in that I'm going to purchase on the way back to our vehicle.
Of course, you don't want to get it now, right?
Beautiful things, yes.
Are you local?
Nope, I'm from Harrison Township, Michigan.
Okay. So you did a little drive-in today?
Yes.
Yeah, and you brought your companion?
Yes, we're actually camping out this way.
Oh, okay. How many times have you been to the art fair?
Probably four times, but it's been a long time since the last time we were here. I've been wanting to come for years.
Yeah. Things changed? What do you think?
I guess a little. I mean, it kind of feels the same.
Yeah, I understand. I feel the same way every time. It's like different but not, right? Okay, well, thank you so much for talking with us. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll be back.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ken Simpson, and we are CTN at the Art Fair, and I am here with
David Bigelow.
All right, so David, what can you go and tell us today about like your booth at the Art Fair this year?
Well, I have a combination of drawing and etching, and there used to be a pickup line about come up and see my etchings, but I don't think people went because most people don't know what etching is. It evolved out of trying to make designs match on suits of armor. Once gunpowder made suits of armor silly, that didn't mean the king didn't want his fancier. And somebody came out and said, hey, that one turned out great. Make them all look like that. Okay, how the heck are we going to do that? So they hand carved them. They rubbed charcoal into it, pressed soft paper, and they got a ghost, but it didn't last very long. So then they mixed oil with the charcoal. And at some point, somebody said, wait, this piece of paper isn't too bad either. So what it actually ended was kind of the apprentice system, because if you wanted to learn how to draw something, you could copy somebody's print and learn their techniques and secrets and stuff, instead of having to be, taken out the garbage for the artist for 12 years before they give you a chance.
Wow, yes, I was not actually expecting to learn all that history.
This is like a dinosaur process, but what I like about it is you do all that work, and I can keep one for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, actually. So how long have you been etching?
Since 1969. I got to college and I told them I wanted to be a drawing major, and they said, well, you got to take drawing, but you can't be a major. What am I going to do? Try printmaking. They said it's kind of like drawing, kind of like chemistry and sculpture. They left that part out. So what kept me hooked was you make multiples and you keep one for yourself if you want. So everybody's heard of limited edition prints. Etchings are the original limited edition prints because it prints under tremendous pressure, and over time the plate will change. So if you don't limit the edition, it'll fade away or be fuzzier or, disappear kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds like there's actually some stakes added into the process as well. So with your etching booth this year, I've noticed that you've had like a lot of animal etchings here today. Why choose animals as your subjects?
They don't complain. It doesn't matter how long I make their nose or how cross-eyed they look or anything like that. They're fine with it. People, you don't get away with that.
Oh, that's fair enough. So have you been showing up as a vendor at the art fair for very long, and if so, how long?
I started in college, just barely out of college. Excuse me. So that was 52 years ago. And I've been in different fairs, but if you run it continuous, we only missed the COVID year.
Oh, yeah.
When there wasn't any show.
Fair enough. So what in your opinion makes the Ann Arbor Art Fairs stand out from all the art fairs you've been involved in?
Well, what I was doing when you came up is trying to restock and figure out, and the truth of the matter is there were people buying things here that they'd never buy anywhere else. These are unique people.
Wow, awesome. That is wonderful to hear that like a lot of our people in Ann Arbor participate in so much art buying here as well. I want to ask you, has there been any standouts of this year so far with the 2 days we've been open?
Well, not really, because normally I would hurry to restock, but what didn't do that yesterday. So there's only one of everything that could have sold because I didn't put the second one out. If you have a booth with like 5 pictures of the same, I think that hurts, the idea. Everybody accepts the idea of multiple, but they don't like to see it.
I get that. Well, I'm hoping that like today will be a successful day for you as well. We had to go and restock. Do you actually have like a website at all? A website you want to share with the people?
Used to, but I don't anymore. It doesn't pay. So I think websites are great, but they turn out to be a half-time job. And if you're not careful, you have 3 half-time jobs. That adds up more than time you got. So I guess I'm waiting for an agent or a sponsor or some kind of thing for that. But I'm not losing sleep over it either, because doing a little show here and there and seeing people face to face, that's why it's so much better than galleries. The gallery, you drop the work off, and at the end you get the work back and a check maybe. You have no idea what anybody thought. People come by my booth and they hate it. They throw up right in the booth. You get a feedback right away. Or they like it, you get that too. So that's kind of part of it. One of my distractions, though, was starting to draw on paper from other cultures. So there's an elephant and a rhino back here behind me. They're on a paper from Nepal. It's Lokta, and it's made from the inner bark of this weed. They scrape off the outer, cook down the inner, spread it out on a piece of wood, and when it falls off, it's ready. And it's so irregular, and so there's no sizing. You can't erase it. You can't see through it. It's stiff enough to stand up. So all of these things are like an extra challenge. And metal plates are absolutely smooth, so there's absolutely no challenge with that kind of thing. So I've had to adjust, and it's helped the metal plates because I drew like it's a topographical map following some of the textures, with it. And that led back to the metal plates having more variety.
Gotcha. Wow. Well, that is a lot, basically, for sure. Especially and I can tell basically with the passion that they spoke about your process, basically that you really love, that you really love this craft for sure.
Well, there's a problem with that. I'm the only one. No, I'm not the only one doing this, but I'm the one in the booth who cares about that. Other people, there's no reason for them to care about all that history and technology and other stuff. I have to have an image or an idea that cuts through, whatever the way it was done. So it turns out that you have to try and say something. That was a shock, because I worked about 2 years without repeating a technique in the early days and realized, why would anybody care? Unless they're doing the same kind of thing. So I had to have ideas. My ideas have been fairly simple, but getting somebody to slow down long enough, you've got to catch them some way. So the theory is, from a distance, it's kind of strong and striking, and when you get closer, there's more things to see or to figure out. So I think a piece of art is more like a book. When you first look at it, you've seen the cover, and the more time you spend with it, maybe you get more out of it. Now, I have really small pieces too, and that's trying to be more like surface. Right away you're going to get it. There's no great depth or anything, but it's a challenge all the way.
Gotcha. And well, from an outsider looking in, basically, I can honestly say that your art are speaking volumes to me. So thank you so much, Dave, for spending time with us. And
You're a brave man to listen to all that.
Oh yeah, totally. Anyways, this is Ken Simpson with CTN at the Art Fair, and.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ann Arbor Mayor John Heftia, and I'm here with First Ward Council members Gene Robinson and Bob Johnson. And this is a program called Ward Talk, and it's an extrapolation.
Part of the fabric of Ann Arbor is local politics. In 2002, CTN dove into the topic by inviting council members from each ward to answer viewers' questions live on TV.
Hello, thank you for calling.
Yes, good evening, Mayor Heath. This is Doug McAlpin, cashier for Republic Parking.
Good evening. I'm Rachel Tiedke, and I invite you to join us for Ward Talk.
In the beginning, the mayor served as moderator, but this quickly was replaced by an impartial host. Over the years, the show has welcomed 3 hosts, with Bonnie Gabowitz at the helm since 2014.
From our 5 wards each month. Joining us.
One of the things that many of us are thinking about is what's going to happen to Lower Town.
Versus what was then Gilman Sciences, but is now Paul Gilman.
So this is going to involve doing some rezoning in the downtown.
Residents are very concerned about cars speeding through their neighborhoods.
People who've maybe never gone and looked at a blog before will
Over 180 episodes, the show has greeted countless council members and 2 long-serving mayors, with no sign of slowing down.
Several times, and last summer, as I said, I grew up here, and we have had skateboarders in this community from the very beginning.
It's a new millage, but it replaces the one that exists.
It's a heavily traveled area.
Yes, and it'll be a 2-year program to actually do it.
Some of them 300, 400, 500 new units.
To work with Justice Indeed and to do this in their own neighborhood.
Not quite.
If that's an understatement, I don't know.
A little bit. Yeah. And we're probably into the last few seconds, so we can let them take it away with the music. And thank you for if you watched us tonight.
This is Rachel Tiedke saying thank you for viewing Ward Talk.
This is Community Television Network of Ann Arbor, City TV Channel 19. Thanks for watching.
For Ward Talk, I'm Bonnie Gabowitz. Until next month.
Hi everybody, this is Ken with CTN at the Art Fair, and I am here with Chris Osinski.
Yep.
All right, and so Chris, what can you want to tell us about your booth this year at the Ann Arbor Art Fair?
Absolutely. Well, we're here on Liberty Street, just having an awesome time. Great crowds. The walkways have been full, and been selling a lot of art. It's been a great show.
All right. Gotcha. So Chris, before we were filming, you told me that you were from Minnesota. So how has Ann Arbor been treating you so far?
Oh, Ann Arbor is just a beautiful town. It's a great downtown, a lot of shopping experience, a lot of great restaurants, a real neat place just to kind of park your truck or car. We drove a truck with a trailer here, but just get around, walk around, and enjoy the sights, enjoy the shops, and enjoy the people. It's a great area to hang out.
Awesome. So Chris, I want to go ask you about your art they actually have on display here this year, because it seems like you're mixing 2 concepts, industrial and also nature. So what can you go and tell us about that?
Well, absolutely. I grew up on a farm in Minnesota, and I still farm to this day. And my dad and I, when we would build equipment, we'd go to the junkyard and we'd find parts and pieces to build a piece of equipment. Well, my art a lot of times is taking some of those attributes that I learned as a young man with my dad, and we're turning it into art. I love nature, but I also like giving old things new life. And so we like taking the old, used up materials of the industrial age and turning them into a great piece of artwork so that they can grace someone's wall, and then also bringing the outside inside. So taking trees, taking vine, taking the rest, and bringing those things inside the home so that we can beautify the wall. The same place you'd put a painting is 3-dimensional painting in steel is what we like to say we do.
Wow, that is incredible. And you also have like some amazing like mooses, like moose statues made out of metal parts as well. So I was kind of curious, how long is that process of you making one of these amazing sculptures?
Absolutely. Well, we work closely with indigenous tribes up in Alaska, and so they, in the springtime after the moose shed their antlers, they go out into the woods, they gather up the antlers, we buy them from them to help support their local communities up in Alaska, bring them down here, build artwork with them, and really the time is found in finding all the parts and pieces, finding that right piece to create a cheek or create an eye. Like this piece here is called the West, and so each part of that had something to do with the West, and so we have cowboy frying pans, we have the 6-gun, we have license plates that represent the interstate commerce, and we also have the eyeballs, which are old ball bearings from wind turbines, and those really envision looking towards the future. And so when we're trying to bring all those aspects into artwork, we're trying to give those unique stories to each one of those each of those little parts and pieces, and create something that's new and brought together.
Wow, that is amazing for sure. So I guess obviously with such amazing art, basically you must have such incredible opportunities to just go and travel around the country, basically showing off your stuff. In your opinion, what makes the Ann Arbor Art Fair stand up from other art fairs you've been a part of?
Well, it's really well organized. So as an artist, we're gone. So we left first thing Wednesday morning. My son and I, we drove 12 hours here, and so just finding our booth, where we're setting up, where we're going to be able to park at the end of the day, where we can go out to eat. All those things have really been just given to us as far as how to communicate with the organizers, how they go about organizing their show. And then, that experience really helps with this. And then just having a tremendous amount of community support. You see a lot of art shows that are just kind of something that's going on in the background, where Ann Arbor's really made this event really essential part of what the city is and how it presents itself. And, I've talked to folks from California, I've talked to folks from Maine, I've talked to folks from Florida, in Texas, in Louisiana, all here in Ann Arbor to see art and buy art. And so as an artist, I would recommend you seek this show out, apply, come see Ann Arbor for the artwork, but also for the people.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Before we end this, do you want to go and share your website with the people?
Sure. SwedeSteelworks.com is my website. You can see me build a moose. You can go on YouTube and just type in Crafty Farmer, and you'll see me building a moose as we go with old tools and giving it new life. So thanks a lot for your time, and appreciate your interview.
Hi everybody, my name is Ken and this is CTN at the Art Fair, and I am here with
Athena Lee. If you want that.
All right, gotcha. It works out. Sweet. So Athena, tell me about your experience this year at the 2024 Art Fair.
It's been super fun. All the vendors are really personable and love to talk, and it's been good weather, which is crazy for Art Fair. I feel like it's always the hottest and the rainiest day of the year, so I'm really happy for the vendors. Hopefully they get a lot of people out too because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And so also, with you being an Ann Arbor local for sure, what are some things stand about this year's Art Fair compared to the other art fairs you've been accustomed
to? I feel like there's more food, honestly, which I love. There's a banh mi place, which I'm Vietnamese, and it was very authentic. I loved it. And then I see slushy places around, and there was another grass-fed meat one, and I'm really into farming and that stuff, so that was really cool to see, especially that they could afford to come out here, and also they seemed like they were doing really big business, so I hope that means that it worked out for them.
Awesome. Have you seen any cool art vendors this year that's caught your eye so far?
Yeah, so there was one on Main Street that had glass earrings and stuff. That was really cool. Let's see, all the glass ones really stand out, and also the amber. I love amber a lot. And I love when towns have their spot too. Like Dawn Treader has like a big old thing with books to look around in, and that was super fun. There's I think her name's like Boho Hayes Clay. She does some really cool earrings. I think I've seen her at other markets too, and got to talk to her for a bit, so that was fun.
Awesome, cool. So, yes.
Oh wait, one more. The Mighty Mitten does like posters. They're like vintage style posters of the parts, and they're super cool. And I got one that was like for like Lake Michigan, and that felt good to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so for our last question right now, if you had to go and sell the Ann Arbor Art Fair to people who are on the fence of coming out, how would you sell them on the art fair for this year?
Oh my God, that's so hard. Well, it's essentially, I feel like it's like walking through an amusement park. It has that energy, it has a ton of people, but then you get to look at really cool stuff and meet the vendors, and that's really important. I feel like, stuff is, you can buy stuff anywhere, and people try to make it as easy as possible to get you in, and like that's probably important in a lot of ways for some people, but other people really like making a connection with the people and seeing why they make it, and I think that that's really important, and this is one of the best places to do that.
For 20 years, the Bryant Community Center has enhanced the quality of life in Ann Arbor. The facility is owned by the City of Ann Arbor's Parks Department and operated by Community Action Network, CAN, allowing the city to share its space, and in return, CAN provides community support. CAN partners with children, youth, and families from under-resourced Washtenaw County neighborhoods to create better futures for themselves and improve the communities in which they live. The Bryant Community Center hosts a food pantry, academic achievement, and life skill enrichment programs, in addition to a variety of other services for eligible families. The site is available for receptions, special events, and meetings. For more, visit a2gov.org/parks.
Hi, this is Ken Simpson. This is CTN at the Art Fair, and I am here with
Doug Hain.
All right, so Doug, you probably had the most unique booth we've seen so far. So what can you tell us about your art?
Okay, so we create sound. We're trying to put you on a beach. We're making sounds that sound like the beach, or ship's bell tones. We have some that sound like channel markers, like buoys as well. So when you enter our booth, you're going to hear nautical tones from ship's bells here to buoy bells in this style as well. So a very, very unusual piece. It's a real bell. It's not a wind chime. We get confused all the time, but this is actually a real bell that we cast in our foundry in Pennsylvania.
Wow, that is awesome. So like I see with your bells, but you have lighthouses, you have whales, you have sea turtles. So what can you go and tell me about the process of making stuff related to the sea?
Yep. So we are self-taught bell makers. I built a foundry about 25 years ago, and we do all of our work in-house. We're casting our bells in sand. We're pouring molten bronze at 2100 degrees to create each piece. So this is a lot of work. We do everything from start to finish under one roof.
Wow. So like, how long would you say it takes to go and make like one bell usually?
One bell will be in the works for up to 3 weeks. There's about 14 steps to completion. There's a lot of artwork involved here too. One thing you can't see in here would be the colors. So in the sunlight, they are very blue and teal. They look kind of gray in this booth right now. But there's a lot of work that's done with a torch. So we're actually heat treating to bring out nice colors in each piece of bronze. So they're very unique. So it does take quite some time to get that accomplished.
All right, then. All right. So Douglas, I got to ask you though. So what makes the Ann Arbor Art Fair stand out to other art fairs you guys have been a part of?
Oh, it's the amount of people here. It's a great city, and we look forward to coming here every year. We have great customers for over 15 years now, so it's fun coming back and seeing familiar faces every year.
Awesome, awesome. And in your personal opinion, basically, do you have like a favorite bell that you brought out to your booths this year?
I really do. I like any bell that sounds like a ship, and it would be this one right here. Sounds like a ship's bell in the distance. Very, very mellow tone. It's not a wind chime. We hear a lot of overtones. It's a nice striking along bell toll we're trying to create. So, yeah, my favorite.
All right, for sure, gotcha. And also, I also want to ask this too, because you guys said your bells take a lot of inspiration of ocean sounds. How do you guys go and like capture the sounds of ships basically with these bells?
It's in the shape of the bell, the size, the wall thickness, and then lastly the metal composition. So we actually blend our metals to create the tones we like. So a lot going on here.
Wow, that is amazing. Amazing. I want to thank you so much, Douglas, for your time though. But for the people at home, where can they find these amazing bells?
You can find them right here. We're here till Sunday. You can also find them online at oldtownwindbells.com. We've got a really nice assortment to look at there.
All right, Douglas, thank you so much.
Pleasure, my friend.
Sweet.
Thank you.
All right, and this is Ken Simpson with CTN at the Art Fair. This is Ken Simpson with CTN at the Art Fair, and I am here with
Chris Bush from Bloomington, Indiana.
All right, so Chris, what can you go and tell us about your art do you have here this year?
Well, I have mostly functional items, as you can see. I have dinnerware, fountains, which are great for relaxation, which we need these days, vases, pitchers, anything you need made of ceramic.
Wow, gotcha. So I gotta ask you, actually, basically, because like from my experience here, there is so many avenues for making art. So I gotta ask you, so why choose ceramics?
Well, I'll tell you why, because I had an awesome art teacher in high school, and I concentrated on ceramics, and I just fell in love, and I've been with it ever since.
Awesome, gotcha. Yeah, so what can you go and tell us about like your ceramics that sets it apart from other ceramics here?
Well, I'd say the colors. I've been using these same colors for 30 years, and you just kind of develop it as you go. They're my unique palette. I don't think you're going to find it anywhere else.
Awesome. I think like one thing that actually stands out to me is actually like some of them are actually fountains, actually spitting out water. That's actually really cool. So tell me about that. How's the process of making those?
Well, these just start out as a bowl. So you throw the bowl, and then you change the shape a little bit. I like to add little creatures. We have turtles and frogs and fish, sometimes butterflies. And the top cover just goes right over the pump, so it's very easy to take care of. You just lift that up, the pump's there, you can take it out and clean it and put it back.
Awesome. That is amazing. Amazing for sure. And so actually with like all of your art and ceramics experience, basically you probably travel a lot. Yeah. What makes the Ann Arbor Art Fair stand out from other art fairs you've been a part of?
Well, you sure get a large crowd here, so that's part of it. I love this town. It reminds me of Bloomington, but just bigger. I don't know. I just love the people. I love the people watching. You always have characters dressed up in great outfits, so it's just all around great.
Wonderful. So, Chris, basically, before we end this, basically, is there any like website or social media you want to share with the people before we close it out?
Yes, thank you. My website is functionalceramics.com. Everything in here is usable. Please check it out.
Awesome. Thanks again, Chris. This is Ken Simpson with CTN at the Art Fair.